The Washington Times has written this great opinion piece from Kelly Sadler, the Washington Times, on Biden's mental state. He writes, I'm sorry, but these are the left's rules, and because they set them, I'm going to play them. President Biden is not in good mental health. Just this week, he forgot the name of the Defense Department and its leader, Secretary Lloyd Austin. And I want to... Then he quotes him. I think we have that, though. I don't need to quote him. Here's what he said.
And I want to thank the former general. I keep calling him general, but the guy who runs that outfit over there.
The guy who runs that outfit over there.
3 things there.
Yeah, amazing. So, Kelly continues, it's not the first time Biden has forgotten the names of those in his cabinet. In December, he mispronounced the name of his nominee for the Department of Health and Human Services, Xavier Becerra. At the time, like pretty much every time we publicly see Biden, he was reading off a teleprompter. The closest thing Biden has delivered in terms of a press briefing is answering offhand comments by the media such as this. Reporter, when did you learn about your immigration briefing? Or what did you learn about your immigration briefing? Biden, a lot. That was it. Biden has still not been to the southern border, likely because he's too weak to travel and has refused to give a full-scale press briefing. Likely because he's too feeble and mentally confused to give reliable White House-approved answers. I think that's absolutely accurate.
Totally.
In December, then President-elect Biden bizarrely broke his foot by tripping on a rug after a shower as he chased after his dog, Major. I guess he pulled the dog's tail like a 4-year-old. The entire story made no sense.
Right.
Yet our press corps seems entirely uninterested in the mental health of our president, Joe Biden. When he trips up his speech, they make excuses for him. They glamorize his early bedtime and video game playing as a return to normalcy. They weren't so kind to former President Donald Trump. USA Today declared, Trump is mentally unfit to be president. Since Donald Trump's election, mental health professionals have come forth in historically unprecedented ways to warn against entrusting the U.S. presidency to someone exhibiting dangerous mental impairments. You believe they said this about Donald Trump? And nothing. Crickets on Joe Biden. The New York Times wrote countless stories and columns questioning the mental health of the former president, conceding in 2017 with who decides whether Trump is unfit to govern, and that the mental health of Donald Trump has been under scrutiny since he began running for president. Wow, that is not the case with Biden. There was incessant speculation about whether the 25th Amendment should be invoked to remove Trump based on his alleged mental flaws. The House of Representatives even introduced a bill to empower Congress to establish a commission of at least 8 doctors, including 4 psychiatrists, to evaluate whether he was fit to govern. Wow. If Trump slipped up, let's say by using 2 hands to drink a glass of water. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Or if he had trouble walking down a slippery ramp at West Point.
Yep.
The press was there in a millisecond to cast doubt on his physical acuity. Even if it's baseless and unfair, few things stick to a modern president like images of physical frailty, according to Politico. Adding just how damaging such a picture of weakness can be, and that it often comes with a political cost. Okay, so those are the standards. The press set them in the previous administration, so where are they now? I dare you to find one by the mainstream media. The press is so in bed with the Biden administration that they willfully ignored Mr. Biden's cognitive decline on the campaign trail. As the Harris-Biden ticket saying that 150 million Americans lost their lives to gun violence and another 120 million died of COVID-19. And instead, they chose to write stories about how the Trump campaign's targeting of Biden in this area would backfire on them.
Yep.
Absolutely incredible. Now they're working overtime to cover for his misstatements. Typical Biden gaffes and fragility. This is from Snopes on his Pentagon flub.
Okay.
It's unclear whether Biden literally forgot his defense secretary's name at that moment or whether, for example, he got stuck doing an extended folksy ad-lib. We talked about this. A folksy ad-lib after initially tripping over his words.
Uh-huh.
Come on.
Terrible.
It's time to seriously question whether whether Joe Biden is fit for the job. His lack of availability to the press, his verbal stumbles when giving teleprompter remarks, his obvious confusion when visiting offsite locations all should set off alarm bells of cognitive decline. Yes, it may not be nice, but it's necessary. The American people deserve to know who is really running their government. Just a great piece in the Washington Times, and exactly right. Yet they continue to cover for him. They don't seem to care at all.
And the more and more this administration stonewalls the press from access to the president, these stories are going to start appearing in not so conservative newspapers like the Washington Times. It's going to be the Washington Post. It's going to be stuff like that.
It will be.
And then they're going to turn up the heat. I would like to point out, you mentioned all this is happening. Check my math here. I believe that in a 4-year term, there are 208 weeks. Okay. We are at week 8 of this presidency.
That's really depressing. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So we're at week 8 of 208.